तीर वनचारी जमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। थैंक यू माता जी। दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, so we welcome Her Grace Chandi Jeevan Mataji. Hari Bol Mataji, Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, over to you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Urunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankayate Girim Yatkrupa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadankitam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Ishtarini He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. So we are in the Canto 3, Chapter 4. Vidura approaches Maitreya and at verse 20, text 20. So we'll recite the verse. Anasuya Mataji wants to recite.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Dandavad. Oh, sorry, Mataji. Shall I share that one? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mataji, please, if you can.
Yeah, I'm sharing it.
Yeah, thank you.
Give me one. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. Yeah, can you see that, Mataji?
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Sa evam aradita padat irthat adhita tattvamatma vibodha margaha pranamya padau parivritya devam ihagatoham virahaturatma. Thank you, Mataji.
Translation, someone wants to read?
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I have studied the path of understanding self-knowledge from my spiritual master, the personality of Godhead, and thus, after circumventing him, circumambulating him, I have come to this place very much aggrieved due to separation. Thank you, Mataji.
Wants to read the purport?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Yeah. Dandavat.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Uddhava's actual life is the direct symbol of the Chatushloki Bhagavatam enunciated first to Brahmaji by the personality of Godhead. These four very great and important verses from Shrimad Bhagavatam are particularly taken out by the Mayavadi speculators who construe a different purport to suit their impersonal view of monism. Here is the proper answer to such unauthorized speculators. The verse of Srimad Bhagavatam are purely theistic science understandable by the postgraduate students of Bhagavad Gita. The unauthorized dry speculators are offenders at the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Krishna because they distort the purports of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam to mislead the public and prepare a direct path to the hell known as Andha Tamishra. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 16.20, such envious speculators are without knowledge and are surely condemned life after life. They unnecessarily take shelter of Sripada Shankaracharya, but he was not so drastic as to commit an offense at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. According to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sripada Shankaracharya preached the Mayavada philosophy for a particular purpose. Such a philosophy was necessary to defeat the Buddhist philosophy of the non-existence of the spirit soul, but it was never meant for perpetual acceptance. It was an emergency. Thus, Lord Krishna was accepted by Shankaracharya as the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his commentation on Bhagavad Gita. Since he was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, he did not dare write any commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam because that would have been a direct offense at the lotus feet of the Lord. But later speculators, in the name of Mayavada philosophy, unnecessarily make their commentary on the Chatushloki Bhagavatam without any bona fide intent. The monistic dry speculators have no business in the Srimad Bhagavatam because their particular Vedic literature is forbidden for them by the great author himself. Srila Vyasadeva has definitely forbidden persons engaged in religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and finally salvation from trying to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, which is not meant for them. Bhagavatam 1.1.2, Sripada Sridhara Swami, the great commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, has definitely forbidden the salvationists or monists to deal in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is not for them, yet such unauthorized persons perversely try to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus they commit offenses at the feet of the Lord, which even Sripada Shankaracharya dared not do. Thus they prepare for their continuation of miserable life. It should be particularly noted herein that Uddhava studied the Chatushloki Bhagavatam directly from the Lord, who spoke them first to Brahmaji, and this time the Lord explained more confidentially the self-knowledge mentioned as the Paramam Sthithim. Upon learning such self-knowledge of love, Uddhava felt very much aggrieved by feelings of separation from the Lord. Unless one is awakened to the stage of Uddhava, everlastingly feeling the separation of the Lord in transcendental love, as exhibited by the Lord Chaitanya also, one cannot understand the real import of the four essential verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. One should not indulge in the unauthorized act of twisting the meaning and thereby putting himself on the dangerous path of offense. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. So here we have been in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are trying to understand like how Lord instructed Uddhava about his, the situation, like when he had a desire to, when he expressed his desire to hear personally that, about Chatushloki from the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So Lord, in the 19th verse, we read, right? Lord has transcendental, he has expressed his transcendental situation, which he was not even sharing this. This particular aspect was not even spoken to Lord Brahma, but in more detail he explained to Uddhava here, because he knows Uddhava's position, and he knows like what is the instruction he's going to give it to Uddhava, so that he will pass on or he will continue to preach like that after he leave this material world. So Lord, love of these devotees, exalted devotees, can be understood only by the Lord. So Uddhava has expressed his desire to hear, and his desire was not like how this purport was giving us, by his divine Srila Prabhupada is explaining here that this subject matter is like we should not twist the meaning and thereby indulge into getting into the path of committing offenses. But Uddhava will not be doing like that, because his desire to hear is not on the level of not for gaining some intellectual stimulation or some scholastic or academic thing like that. So specifically, he wanted to understand the deeply understand the Lord's actual situation, and it's only for him to enrich his mode of love, or enrich his nature of love for the Lord, like that. So here, what is the mood of Uddhava from this verse? What do we understand, especially what is Uddhava is going through from the previous verses? Can anyone share? What were we hearing or reading through?
He was feeling
Uddhava is
Krishna
feeling the
Mataji.
separation from the Lord after the Lord has departed, and when Vidura is inquiring about the Lord, he is going into the memories of the Lord. Uddhava is going in deep inside the memories of the Lord, and
when he came
so,
across,
and he doesn't want to reveal himself, considering Vidura as an elderly person. Compared to Uddhava, so he is saying to go and inquire to
Maitreya. So he came across Vidura when they reached, river Yamuna, and he met Uddhava there. And Uddhava is a devotee of Lord Sri Krishna, and he is a cousin of Krishna, and a disciple of Bruhaspati, who is a guru of all devatas, and is an intimate associate of the Lord. And he stayed with the Lord in Dwaraka when the Lord was there in city of Dwaraka, like that. So Vidura was, keen to understand. He embraced Uddhava, and he wanted to ask about the whereabouts, what happened, about the Supreme Lord Krishna and Balaram. And he wanted to know how they are doing in Dwaraka, how, Krishna's parents are, Devaki and Vasudeva, how Krishna's sons are, he named so many of them, and he was inquiring about Ugrasena. He was inquiring about Krishna's associates, like the Akrura, Aniruddha, all of them, and how Pandavas and their mother Kunti. So he was showing pity to Dhritarashtra also. And then he is a sincere well-wisher of Dhritarashtra still, but he was happy to travel around. Tirtha Yatra he did for, I think, over 34 years he did, and now at this point he was very excited to see Uddhava, which he couldn't meet him in Dwaraka, like that. So devotees are eager to see the Lord and his devotees like that. So Vidura inquired how his beloved Krishna is and his devotees, and Uddhava became emotional. He became like, he felt that separation from the Lord. So he is aggrieved, like Prabhupada in the purport has mentioned. Uddhava felt very much aggrieved by feeling of separation from the Lord. And he learned this knowledge from the Lord, self-knowledge of love, which is, Chatusloki Bhagavatam in detail the knowledge is being given to Uddhava by Lord himself. And now when, he was, because Uddhava is a devotee, and then from the childhood he was observing in the worshipping of Krishna. And then he used to, he came like this, he was discussing, and then Vidura could understand Buddha's mood also. He was totally in trance, and he was overwhelmed by hearing about again Krishna, Vidura's questions, and making him to reminded of Krishna again. So like that, Vidura could understand, and then Uddhava was for some time, for few minutes, like it is mentioned in the Shastra that at least, I think up to 48 minutes, he was in trance. Like he was not able to come back to his consciousness. And then later, after 48 minutes, he started speaking to Vidura. And Lord, Lord appeared in this world, because he appeared, we know Paritranaya Sadhunam, right? He appeared for the welfare of all us and to annihilate all the miscreants like that. Now he ended all his pastimes. He disappeared from the planet. Now he entrusted all this to Uddhava because he couldn't go to one particular place, which we'll read in the next verses. That place, he has to go and also, share the message what he has learned from Krishna. So that Vidura didn't actually know about Krishna's disappearance till this point of time. He was a little bit astonished to hear about it. And then Uddhava, he directly witnessed this auspicious thing of Krishna leaving this planet, and then everyone were assembled there. So it is this pastime was this Leela of the Supreme Lord concluded in such a beautiful way, like that. So so gopis were all like that. So Uddhava was in separation, a mode of separation. So he is like in a mode where is totally gained the knowledge from the Lord, but he paid the obeisances to the Lord, he circumambulated to him, and he came to this place where he met Vidura, and then he is in totally separation. So this actually information of Chaturshloki Bhagavatam is completely you can learn from personality, Uddhava's personality. So he first entrusted to Brahmaji, and then all these 4 important verses are being discussed. And now what Prabhupada says in this purport is that Shrimad Bhagavatam is particularly, it's not meant for people who are speculating or who are trying to get some interpretations out of this unscrupulous interpretations, unauthorized speculators like that. So the verses of Shrimad Bhagavatam is purely theistic sense. Means it is to be understood people who are really ready for it, and they are they are surrendered to the spiritual master, and they are surrendered to this disciplic succession, and they are able to pass on the same message as they heard from the spiritual master. So it's like that. See, Uddhava had heard the message from Lord himself directly. Now Lord has complete trust on Uddhava that he will go and then pass the message to the welfare of the people. This is what is required, and that is what Uddhava is going to follow the instructions as it is. So here it is mentioned that the envious speculators, what do? Is they just take this knowledge and then they just come up with their own understanding and they misguide people. So like that, it is that mode is not proper mode. So we have to Uddhava has got the same knowledge from Krishna, and then he is sharing actually to Vidura how the intricate details of how Lord dealt with devotees, Vrajavasis in Vrindavan, and then the dealings in Dwaraka. He has experienced how residents of Vrindavan showed their love for Krishna, and Krishna's perspective is that Uddhava is directly hearing from him, and Supreme Lord wanting to engage all this him in his service, like that. And Uddhava also was contemplating like how Lord is so omniscient, and how come he himself asked at times his advice also. One of the instances where Uddhava mentions that in Krishna's Leela, and when he was in Dwaraka, there's a messenger coming from Hastinapur to Dwaraka from Yudhishthira Maharaj, inviting for a sacrificial ceremony. And then at the same time, Krishna was very happy, and he could immediately, want to make all the arrangements and attend. And simultaneously, there is another messenger from a king that, Jarasandha is harassing other kings and what to do, and only you can take care of, like that. They approach Krishna. Now Krishna turns to Uddhava for solution. Yes, what should I do? I got 2 invitations. They both are very beautiful. And Uddhava gives an advice that, before that, attending the festival for Yudhishthira, which is, all opposing things are there, they should be subdued. Now, first that should be done, and then Jarasandha is challenging, so he has to be, he has to be met, means he has to be challenged. So Krishna has to, did like that. So sometimes it is astonishing to hear, like Vidura was thinking, and then Uddhava was also thinking, how come Lord is in that position to can advise? But it's not like, even if you see from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu past tense also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai and Haridas Thakur how to chant properly. And he actually himself went to, every day he used to hear from Gadadhar Pandit, Shrimad Bhagavatam he used to hear. So this is because Lord wanted to hear from the mouth of his own devotees. Means Lord wants to give credit to his devotees in doing certain things, like how Lord gave Arjuna a credit for destroying the Duryodhana, who is very wicked and evil-minded, and he is destroying his own clan, all that. So Krishna likes devotees to be honored, and Krishna how he gave Bhishma the Pitamaha to pacify Yudhishthira, when he and Vasudev could himself do it, and how Krishna wanted Muchukunda to destroy Kalayavana. Because this is all leelas of the Lord. He wanted to give Muchkunda his name and fame and glories, as a great devotee of Krishna. Krishna could destroy Jarasandha in the battlefield only, but he made Bhima to fight against him. He could have done it, but it's a promise he couldn't fight, but he didn't fight. But Krishna, can create and annihilate everything by himself. But the love of Krishna for the devotees is such that he exchanges all these pastimes is like a mystery for every one of us. And what to speak of, Uddhava was also thinking, is making this point because it's a mystery for even, for him, like how he can, but still, because he's a devotee of the Lord, and Lord wanted devotees to be honored. So he has put in that position, and he follow the instructions of the Lord, and he will be only as an instrument in serving the Lord. Like that, Arjuna also followed, and he became only instrument in serving the Lord. So these loving exchanges, which this makes as a mystery for people who are impersonalist, and people who are like, not able to follow the philosophy properly, and they may not understand the entire philosophy. So like that, Sri Shankaracharya also, when he is not, Lord Krishna accepted Shankaracharya, Supreme Personality's commentation on Bhagavad Gita. He did not dare to do any commentary on his behalf. He knows it's a direct offense at the lotus feet of the Lord. But there are other speculators in this, philosophy, Mayavadi philosophy propounded later, and they started unnecessarily commenting on this, even on Chatushlok Bhagavatam also. But this is not a bona fide intent. That's what Prabhupada is giving us, that, these unauthorized dry speculators, they are offenders at the lotus feet of the Lord. And they completely change the meaning of these scriptures. And they mislead the public, and they mislead the, and that will directly lead to the hellish planets, like, and then that is Andatha Misra, like the Prabhupada mentioned in the purport. So this is not the business of us. We need to follow even parampara practice, right? We have to follow the parampara. We have to follow the teachings of, like that when Krishna spoke, Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna by himself, he wanted to establish, because the parampara has been distorted, and he wanted to, establish again. So he chose Arjuna to speak Bhagavad Gita. So like that, we should not, when we read Shrimad Bhagavatam, when we understand Bhagavad Gita, we should understand from the authorities and from the bona fide disciplic succession. Like that, Srila Prabhupada is given us all the scriptures, and we have got all the Prabhupada's disciples who are guiding us through in our path of spiritual life. So we should take their instructions and follow their instructions. So if you follow instructions, and then in that path, if you continue in their guidance, submissively serve, surrender, and take their guidance, then slowly revelations come to you. That's what Uddhava, I mean, it's very high for us to understand until you go through all the cantos until you go to Uddhava Gita, which was actually been described to. It has been done, but it is not detailedly discussed here. It will be discussed in 11th canto. But here we have to understand the mood of Uddhava. He's making a point here that it is a mystery for people who are in devotion, but that devotion is mixed with something else. So such people cannot even understand also clearly the message from pages of Shrimad Bhagavatam like that. So he got the knowledge, he heard this knowledge completely from the Supreme Lord, and he is carrying out the instructions of the Supreme Lord, and separation is there, but it has to be gone because he is to follow the instructions now. If you follow the instructions, then it will go. Because what is the instruction Krishna gave to Uddhava? Can anyone say? It is going to be discussed. Yeah. What is the instruction? He says he has to pass on this message, right? So I have, some information to share. There is a letter. It's actually a lecture of Srila Prabhupada only. That lecture is, one Mataji was asking, she's feeling far away from where Prabhupada is not there. Right? Like that she was feeling a separation from Prabhupada, that you are not here and I can't, sometimes it is like that. Sometimes we feel so excited when our Gurudev is around, some sannyasis are around. But if they're not around, we feel separation, and sometimes we are switched off, we may not be doing anything. Prabhupada says that you should not think like that. He says that there are two things. There is something called physically you can connect, and something is called vibrations are there, sound vibrations are there. So when you are physically connected to the devotees or to the spiritual masters, that is what? That is Vapu, right? Serving the personal form of the spiritual master or Lord, like that. When the Lord is not there, then you are getting into serving the instructions of the Lord. So here, Uddhava is mainly now focusing on serving the instructions of the Lord. He was in separation from the Lord because he's not able to now. Lord has finished his Leela. Now he has entrusted him to carry the instructions of him and then continue the mission like that. So some place, the place where he has not been to, he is instructing Uddhava to go there. So like that. So we have to remember the instructions of the Lord, instructions of the spiritual master when we feel separation. So Prabhupada informed this Mataji like that. We shouldn't feel like that. Sound vibration is also presence of the person like that. So you associate with the vibration, not by physical presence only. That is also real association by sound. Like that, we are touching Krishna immediately by sound vibration. What is an example we can think of touching Krishna by vibration? Which we all experience, try to do every day.
Chanting.
Bhagavad Gita, Mataji.
Yeah, we touch the books. Bhagavatam, when we touch, we are just feeling we are connecting to Krishna. Our feeling should be like that. So, Krishna himself told, right, when he left this, when sages in Naimisharanya asked the sixth question, who can say the sixth question of sages in Naimisharanya? Who will remember? First chapter, first canto finished, right? Sixth question came in the first canto. Anyone remember?
Where did the religious principles take shelter after the disappearance of Krishna? That is Shrimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah. So where is it quoted in Shrimad Bhagavatam? It's in first canto only. I will say the clue, third chapter.
13:43.
43 shlokam.
That's right. Would you like to recite, Mataji?
Actually, I don't remember, Mataji.
Krishne Swadam Upagate.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Shall I recite, Mataji?
Yeah. Krishne Swadam Upagate. Recite, Mataji.
Okay. कृष्णे स्वधामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह कलौ नष्टदृशां येष पुराणार्पधुनोतितः.
So like that, see, when Krishna said, informed that, he is informed us that when he leaves this material planet, he is there in the scriptures, is personally present. And we all know Shrimad Bhagavatam is, all the cantos of Shrimad Bhagavatam is the complete glimpse of the Supreme Personality of God. Like that. So when we are touching, when we are feeling like that, sound vibration or touching the books of scriptures, we should feel that Krishna is present. So we should not feel separation. So here, when Krishna departed from this world, Arjuna was also overwhelmed with sorrow, and he began to remember the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, like that. So it is all like that. He immediately remembered the teachings of Lord, and then what he taught in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Then he became pacified, because Arjuna was his constant friend. So he went to Krishna, and when he was overwhelmed like that, he began to remember. And whenever he feels separation, best thing is to remember the teachings, like that. So whenever we also want to get connect to Krishna, best thing is Shravanam Kirtanam is important, which you all are coming and participating. Kirtanam is happening.
Hare
Shravanam is
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, your voice is becoming low in between, Mataji. So I couldn't get the last point. Can you please repeat it?
Okay. I was sharing that, Arjuna was also similarly in that situation. Did you hear this, Mataji? He was overwhelmed with sorrow, and he began to remember the instruction of Bhagavad Gita.
Yes,
Krishna,
Mataji.
all the teachings, what he taught him in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So what I was trying to share is that whenever, like Uddhava is going through this separation, but he's trying to understand what's the instruction Krishna gave that he has to carry forward. Like that. So he was a little bit in trance, and he was trying to come out of that and address what Vidura is asking, all the questions, like that. So Arjuna was also pacified like that, because he was a constant friend of Krishna. And whenever he felt like that, he immediately remembered the teachings of the Lord. So feeling in separation like that, we may not come to that point, but to remember the Lord, because we have a forgetful nature, that's why we are here. So now our duty is to remember the Lord and try to, establish that relationship with the Lord and come to the point where our eternal conscious position is serving the Lord or becoming a servant of the Lord. So we have to engage ourselves, use all our senses in engaging in the service of the Lord. So how we can do Shravanam Kirtanam is the important thing which we all have to observe every day. So we are like this, you are all participating. Kirtanam, we have to chant. For our purification, we have to do that. So it is important. So like that, Krishna with Uddhava was feeling separation, and he is, that feeling of separation is there, but it is, for understanding for him that get to, next step is to follow the instructions of the Lord rather than, feeling separation like that. So, Uddhava is in this position, and we'll go to the next. Anyone has any concerns or anything more to understand or share before I go to next one?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Danda Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, one question, a doubt I'm having. Uddhava was also a pure devotee of the Lord, and he was living with the instructions. But Pandavas, they were also a pure devotee of the Lord. They lived with their life with the Lord. But they did not stay in this planet. The moment they heard that Krishna left, they also left this planet, right? So they did not live with the instructions. So the two contradictory.
Yeah, see, whatever instructions Krishna has, Krishna, it's all will of the Lord. Devotees don't do anything against the Lord. So it is will of the Lord that their Leela is finished, their pastime is done. Now that's how they finish the Leela. So that is what is destined to be like that. So Uddhava's still has to perform certain, enact this continue Lord's Leela. So Uddhava's role is still there like that. That's all we have to understand. There's nothing much to really, contradict or understand, like why they are not serving Lord like that. Is that what your question, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. I mean, when Krishna left the Pandava, they also left this planet. In the separation, they could not, stay here. They wanted to be with the Lord, and that is the reason they left. So I really don't know what instructions they have got from the Krishna, whether they can continue their life on this planet or not. That I really don't know. But here, Uddhava, as you're saying that he got instruction, he has to, continue living over here. So
Yeah.
just wanted to know that the devotees, one is going to live with instruction, another one is going to leave this planet to associate with the Lord. Incomplete the life, what is called lifetime, right?
Yeah, see, Uddhava, Krishna, before leaving this planet, he was like all the Yadus and all the dynasty is destroyed. And that's what Uddhava has seen personally. That is before previous verses also we discussed, right, in this chapter. It's destroyed. And then later only Uddhava has been instructed by Krishna to carry forward his instructions. So Uddhava has got further service to do for the pleasure of the Lord. That is why he's still continuing. And they have finished their Leela, and that's the way they are finishing the Leela actually. So that is what they are doing it.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
We go to the next one. Who wants to read this verse? Mataji, Chandana Mataji, would you like to recite?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandad Pranams. Soham tadharshanahlada viyogatiyutha prabho kamishye daitam tasya badaryashrama mandalam. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Translation. Anita Mataji wants to recite.
Yeah, Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. My dear Vidura, now I am mad for want of the pleasure of seeing him. And just to mitigate this, I am now proceeding to Badrika Ashrama in the Himalayas for association as I have been instructed by him. Hare Krishna.
Let's recite the purport. Mr. Mataji, raise the hand here.
Sindhu Mataji.
Mataji, yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Should I read the purport?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. A pure devotee of the Lord, of the standard Uddhava, constantly associates with the Lord in the double perception of simultaneous separation and meeting. The pure devotee is not for a moment unengaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. Execution of the Lord's service is the main occupation of the pure devotee. Uddhava's separation from the Lord was unbearable, and therefore he started to Badrikashrama in obedience to the Lord's order, because the order of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. As long as one is engaged in the execution of the order of the Lord, there is no factual separation from him. Thank you, Mataji. Pranam, Steve. Very good.
Thank you. So this is what, as I said, evam parampara praptam. So this is what, Krishna desired that Uddhava should remain in this world. And he remained in this world to spread or disseminate this divine knowledge he received from Krishna himself about him. And it is, for the welfare of all the coming generations, this is to be passed on. So Krishna could give his association to everyone, but one place he could not go is Badrikash. So he gave instruction to Uddhava that you please go as my representative. You heard everything from me, this Chatushloki, and you could, sustain. Means, this separation can be overcome by your engagement in doing this service, in this seva for me. So like that. And then when Uddhava was there hearing to Chatushloki Bhagavatam, it's like Uddhava Gita was happening. There was one other person also in that association. Who is that? Can anyone say that? Who is the personality who was there? Sharmila Mataji? Raise hand for the shloka, is it?
Mataji, what was the question, Mataji?
There was one more person who was there along with Uddhava when he was hearing to Lord's conversation about Chatushloki and
Maitreya Rishi, no?
Maitreya
Mataji.
Muni.
Maitreya
Yeah.
Rishi.
Maitreya Rishi is also there. So, like, Lord wants to engage his devotees. So he wants to keep them constantly, like how the standard of Uddhavas is constantly associated with the Lord. So Lord wants them to be in their in his association. And of course, there will be separation because they, Lord left the planet is there. They cannot personally now see the Lord that is there. But pure devotees, now they are happy to serve the Lord wherever they are. If Lord instructs them to go to hell, also they're happy to go to hell. So they don't mind. As long as they are in the service of the Lord, they are actually constantly associating with the Lord, because service is one thing which is keeping them remembering the Lord. Constantly engagement is important. So that's why Prabhupada says in the purport, pure devotee is not for a moment unengaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. So their main service is to execute Lord's instructions. That is their main occupation. So this Uddhava's unbearable separation from the Lord will be overcome only if we start going to Badrikashrama, because this is the place where Lord has not been to, and he is instructing him because be my representative, and at the order of the Lord, Uddhava decided to go there, and he is, because there's a service there for him, so he wants to engage in that service and execute the order of the service. That way he will overcome that the separation is not there. So, and then this Maitreya is also has got some service to do, because soon, the conversation is there where Uddhava and Vidura is asking questions. Vidura heard everything from Uddhava like this when he interacted, when he met. And then all this terrible news he heard about his friends, relatives has been killed, the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Yadu dynasty is annihilated at Prabhasa Kshetra. That also he heard. And then all he can do is now, this transcendental knowledge is there, which is given by the Lord, and that will pacify all the grief which he's hearing like that. So Vidura also humbly requests Uddhava to share him this confidential knowledge about the Lord and his pastimes. Uddhava just heard about this from the Lord, and Uddhava declines it. He doesn't want to actually take up that service because Vidura is elder to him, and he don't want to actually instruct or share this knowledge with him. And he says that there is a Maitreya Muni who is there now, gone to Haridwar, and he also heard this, and Krishna spoke to both of us, and then he will be able to transform this message to you, or pass this message to you. So like that, they were there for a night there, and after that they dispersed. So in the morning, Uddhava, with that mood of separation, he will head up to Himalayas towards Badrikashrama. And then later, Maitreya Muni meets Vidura, and then that's what, Vidura approaches Maitreya. The chapter is there, right? So we will see how Vidura meets Maitreya and further takes through about his questions, and Maitreya will answer, and conversations will happen like that. So mainly here we have to understand is that Lord is not been to Badrikashram, and he is instructing Uddhava to obey his order and be his representative and carry forward the instructions which he has given. So that is what it is. And that will help him to overcome the separation, Lord, because he will be engaged in the service. So it is like, which kind of service? We discussed, right? Vani and Vapu. That Uddhava is now going to be engaged.
Vani?
Yeah. Serving the instructions of the Lord. That's right. So he's doing that. Yeah. So it's very important that, attachment to a sadhu will bring attachment to Krishna. That is a solution to all material problems we have. This material attachments we have in this material world, the objects we have in this material world, we, in the mood of enjoyment, we are attached to that, and then we become mad and foolishly attached to that. That's just a painful and miserable thing which we don't meet our expectations in the end. Real happiness is there, and we observe in the service of the Lord. So Shrimad Bhagavatam actually teaching us. It's taking us to the other side of the a river, you would say grass, and the other side looks green, we say, no? So, but it is really green if you grasp the, if you really take up that, it is important. So that same attachment we have to transfer. Whatever we have this particular attachment, if you transfer that to taking the association of the saintly persons, and the whole scenario will change. Like that, Kapila Muni also instructs to teaches to his mother Devahuti also same thing. Attachments to Krishna, that element has to be there. Then all the transcendental emotions will be fulfilled. The spiritual happiness will come into picture. That attachment is there. So in spiritual attachment, there is also separation, like how Uddhava is feeling it. But Uddhava compares it to, as a previous verses we read. What does he compare it to? There's an analogy kind of thing is compare it to. How Krishna's appearing and disappearing is compared to.
Appearance of sun, rising of sun and setting of sun.
Sunrise and sunset, Mataji.
Yeah, like that. So darkness will be there in this material world because absence of Krishna. The moment of time is there. When sun is rising, you feel sun is there, but sun is actually not gone anywhere. Krishna has not gone anywhere. He's just finished his Leela in this universe. He is doing the same Leela enacting in another universe. So it is a Nitya Leela. Krishna's is Nitya Leela. And it's eternal. And our relationship is eternal. His Leelas are also eternal. His pastimes happened 5,000 years ago. It doesn't mean they don't exist now. They are available in the form of holy name. They are available in the scriptures. They are available in holy dhams. If you go and take darshan of the holy dham, we experience that. The understanding is there. So we have Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So we are so fortunate we can experience that in the association of the devotees. Whenever we feel like that, that is what is important. Yeah. So all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada also, when Prabhupada left this planet, this material world, they carry forward all the instructions of Srila Prabhupada to till this date. We are surviving because of them. Otherwise, it is going to be, bleak future. Next generation carry forward means we should follow the scriptures strictly, abide rules and regulations, and what has Prabhupada instructed, we have to take it forward. This is what Uddhava is teaching us to, how he is following the instructions of Krishna, going to a place where he has not been to. Yeah? So like that. We'll read the next verse, 22. Sharmila Mataji. Did you get a chance, Mataji, or you want to read?
No, Mataji. No, I didn't get a chance. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yatra Narayano Devo Narascha Bhagavan Rishihi Mradu Tivram Tapo Dirgam Te Pate Loka Bhavana. Thank you, Mataji.
Translation?
Can I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There in Badrikashrama, the personality of Godhead, in his incarnation as the sages Nara and Narayana, has been undergoing great penance since time immemorial for the welfare of all amiable living entities.
Want to read purport?
Yes.
It's all one.
Yeah. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Badarikashrama in the Himalayas, the abode of the Narayana sages, is a great place of pilgrimage for the Hindus. Even up to the present, hundreds and thousands of pious Hindus go to pay respects to the incarnation of Godhead, Nara Narayana. It appears that even 5,000 years ago, this holy place was being visited by such a holy being as Uddhava. And even at that time, the place was known to be very, very old. This particular pilgrimage site is very difficult to visit for ordinary men because of its difficult situation in the Himalayas, in a place which is covered by ice almost all year. A few months during the summer season, people can visit this place at great personal inconvenience. There are 4 dhamas or kingdoms of God, which represent the planets of the spiritual sky, which consists of the Brahmajyoti and the Vaikunthas. These are Badarikashrama, Rameshwara, Jagannathapuri, and Dwaraka. Faithful Hindus still visit all these holy places for perfection of spiritual realization, following in the footsteps of devotees like Uddhava. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So yeah, upon the instruction of Supreme Lord, now Uddhava marched towards Badrikashrama, because this is where he is supposed to go now and continue his service there to mitigate his separation from the Lord. Yeah, so then he went there, and then to get Krishna's association there, because devotees at Badrikashrama didn't had Krishna's association. Krishna has been here 125 years on the earth, and Krishna offered them his association through his representative Uddhava, like that. So he's not inferior to Krishna. Is actually never affected by the modes of material nature. Is a very pure devotee. And then he visited every other place except this place is not gone. And Krishna knows completely in full trust that Uddhava will carry forward the instruction to the extent what he wished to. According to his will, he will follow the instruction, and he will be able to do that. So in Badrikashrama, Naranarayana sages, they undergo penances for the welfare of all. It happens, thousands of all the people, we all they go there and they pay respects to the Lord there, and Lord engages all his devotees in this kind of welfare work for the benefit of humanity. And the obedient devotees like Uddhava, they align themselves as per the will of the Lord without any reservations. They follow the instructions of the Lord and they go there. So this Naranarayana, they are performing the austerities there, because this place is human life is actually meant for austerities. That is tapodivyam. It's said like that. The purpose of human life is to serve others, or nature of our our soul is to serve, right? So purpose of human life is to serve for the pleasure of the Lord. But the Lord wanted to make this happen, so he instructed Uddhava. So 5,000 years ago he couldn't go, so Uddhava, like that, he's been going there. And then this pilgrimage is very, very difficult to go. I don't know if any one of you have been to Badrikashrama, one of the 4 holy dhams. Any one of you been to here in this forum, Matajis? Prabhujis?
Yes, Mataji, I have been.
Okay, so you have more to share with us then. This is the only place I have not been to, and it's my desire to go there. I do hear lots of experiences which are hard to, I have visited in Kamyavan in Vrindavan, but not real Badrikashrama there. But yeah, there's a lot of people who are seeking spiritual realizations. They go there and they follow the footsteps of Uddhava, like that it's mentioned. So here the purpose of human life is there, and Krishna actually gives this information that how we see when you see Badrika, it is actually representing a tree. So Krishna speak to Balaram, to trees in the Vrindavan. They are actually giving themselves to others in the service of the Lord. They're not interested in anything else other than in serving others, like that. Shrimad Bhagavatam is also giving us the same message. The speaking, hearing, discussing, living the instructions of all the things which we are reading in the scriptures, that will actually give us experience to understand the love of God. Nothing else. We just without experiencing, we cannot get revelations or realizations. Like Prabhu said, he's been to Badrikashrama. He will have his own realizations about after reading the scriptures. If you visit there with that right mood and attitude, you will get some realizations like that. So it's very important. For example, I would say, who has been to Uddhava Kund? Let's take another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Who has been to Uddhava Kund? You know where is Uddhava Kund?
In the Govardhan Mataji.
Yeah, when you do the Govardhan Parikrama, it will come in the end of it, just before Radha Kund. Yeah, so it will come like that. And then, this Uddhava Kund has got a beautiful pastime. Yeah, there's a temple constructed there where, Uddhava has read the message for gopis. That's the place where He was particularly astonished by the love of Srimati Radharani, and he requested a benediction there to become a blade of grass, and because so that the residents of this Brajavasis would step on him, and at least some dust raised from their lotus feet or from their feet will touch his head. And then he had this desire to become a Gulmalata there, that grass. So this place is there where the temple is there. And then at one point, in this place, after Krishna left, all the queens in Dwaraka were there for a while. And then Arjuna was also there to assist them for some time. And then later queens were all alone, they were powerless. And then they knew that residents of Vrindavan love Krishna so much and they wanted to go there. And then Vajrana took all the queens and he took all of them to Uddhavakund. And they did a very ecstatic kirtan there. So Uddhava was in the form of a blade of grass there, and he manifested because of their ecstatic loving kirtans. He manifested and he spoke Shrimad Bhagavatam for a month there. And Uddhava was, like that, totally absorbed in the pastimes of the Lord. And when he was observed in the pastimes of the Lord, actually Krishna also himself enacted this pastime, and the queens also entered into this pastimes. And it's mentioned that when the pastimes completed, this Leela completed, they went back with Krishna, like that. So this is the description we hear how the queens actually joined Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan through the association of the residents of Vrindavan, like that. And they are all entering into the mode of, serving the Lord, like that. So this is very difficult for us to understand. But we cannot be like Shukadev Goswami, we cannot be like Maitreya, we cannot be like Vidura is also not same as Uddhava. Maitreya is not same as the platform of Uddhava, like that. So there is a slogan in English, right? Proverb, more than a slogan, it's a proverb. Birds can fly as high as it can. It cannot go more than that. But this topic which we are discussing, it's a bit too much for us to understand. But what we have to understand is that following the instructions of the spiritual master, following the scriptures, taking the shelter of the holy name is very important, and keep the association of the devotees, so that we will be able to carry the instructions and help others who are in need of this process, so that they will also take up, they also get benefit. So Uddhava went to this Badrika Ashrama, because this Badrika Ashrama, actually Badri Narayana himself left Vaikuntha and he came to this world to do tapasya. That is to purify the atmosphere of this place. So people like us, all fallen souls in this world, will revive their original position. Who knows our original position is?
Krishnere Nikira.
Yeah. So we are servant of the Lord. So while we are, this Badrinarayana is sitting on a high peaks of Himalayas, Lakshmi Devi also appeared as Badri tree. And then she gave the shade and protection to Lord. And she protected Lord from snow falling on him, like that. And she herself was actually drowning in the snow. And then she's doing it. But what is happening? She didn't mind for that. She's doing seva for the Lord. So she's happy. She became a tree like that. And then she gave, when there is a hot, sunny days, she could, just give the shade to the Lord. And then when Lord is totally in meditation, he cannot go here and there to have his meal. He's very busy in doing tapasya, austerity. So he can't go anywhere to eat. So these trees, the trees are giving nice Badri trees give some nice fruits. So these trees will they themselves, the branches will, come down, reach out, so that they could offer fruits to the Lord. And then all the beautiful flowers of this tree also decorates the Lord when he is in austerities or tapasya, like that. So Badri is actually Lakshmi Devi. She is incarnated like that as a Badri tree to serve the Lord. Badrinath is none other than Lakshminath, means is a Lord of the Lord of Lakshmi, who is goddess of fortune. So in this particular form, it is they are manifested like that in Badrika Ashrama. So here Naranarayana also performed great tapasya. And they also, defeated Indra. That revealed to them that they are self-content, Atma Ramas. They are just only there to serve the Lord, and then that is giving them full bliss like that. So they don't aspire any pleasure in this world like that. So we will understand these pastimes only by the association of the devotees. Saintly association is very important. Like that, these great devotees like Uddhava, who has surrendered to the will of the Lord, carrying forward these instructions of the Lord to for the welfare of everybody else, where Lord couldn't go, then he want to send his representative so that they get benefit because of his association like that. So when we follow the footsteps of these devotees who are pure at their heart and following the instructions of the Lord as it is, so there, you will understand the leelas of the Lord properly. That mood and leader, Lord can be understood properly like that. We have to be very humble ourselves and accept the instructions of the Lord and carry forward like that. And then the revelations will come, like how Uddhava was doing it. It's like that. Sarva dharman paritijña mamekam sharanam vraja. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, right? So like that. So we have to have the full faith in our scriptures and complete faith in the holy name and instructions of the Lord, and take the association of the devotees, so we get the benefit. So this is what I understood from these verses, and share it with you all. If you have anything else to share, please, happy to hear from you all as well. Hare Krishna.
So sorry, Mataji. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for very nice explanation today of these three verses. Any questions? Any comments? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Mataji, Dham Darshan is, it won't be easy for us to go, Mataji. Yes, because I myself were not planned for all these things. Just only by the grace of divine only. I myself gone there with the companion, of course, but only the thing is, there must be a little bit grace must be there for to visit all the dhamas. Mataji, have you hear my words, Mataji? Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now it's very clear, but I think Jahnavi Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji,
Yeah.
if we want to visit these holy places, that is not an easy for us to take our own decision. Please, it must be from the divine. If the divine grace is there, then only we can able to go there, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari. Yeah, Hari Kubol. Prabhu, I think Mataji has left. There was some problem. Yeah, I can just give you answer. I am not actually suitable to give this answer, but
yes, you are the only fit person, Mataji. You are the
Hari. That's your blessing, Prabhu. Okay, so Prabhu, it's actually more than anything else, it's our desire, right? So, like I've heard from many senior disciples, and I've seen this myself as well, that when our desire is very intense, related to the spiritual path or related to Krishna consciousness. So whatever desire, and the desire is, if it is genuine, it is honest desire. Sorry, Mataji is here. So Mataji can give you the answer.
Sorry, Mataji, I don't know. I got kicked out.
Yeah. Your video was stuck for some time, and then after. Yeah.
So the Krishnamurti Prabhu was sharing Dham Darshan is very hard. That is very difficult, to...
Yeah, and what he is saying, Mataji, that if Krishna willing, like if Lord's desire means Lord's will permit, then only, people can go. Is it right, Krishnamurti Prabhu?
100%, Mataji, 100%.
Yeah, that is true, because see, it's not like you take a flight ticket and go here, you can go. It's not like that. It's not possible to go like that. Dham Darshan has to be it is good if you go in the association of the devotees also. If you go to the Dham, you will realize the potency of the Dham. Just you go like a Tirtha Yatra, just for another sense pleasure, it's not like that. Dham Darshan means your mood should be set like that. You know what you're going to go or do there, you have to prepare yourself before you go there. First, you read about the Dham and try to understand what pastimes particularly Lord has enacted there. And when you go and see that in the association of the devotees, you see those pastimes actually happening there. It has to be like that. Otherwise, it's just another place you have gone and come, and that's it. And you feel very tired, and so many other things will happen also.
Yes, Mataji. Last year I went to Vrindavan, Mataji, October.
Yeah.
So many places. Understanding one place pastime is we forget the other place pastime.
Yeah.
Nearly 50 temples I went, Mataji.
Yeah, so it is recommended not to do like that, Mataji. So what you should do now, you should keep some agenda, like, not agenda, like focus. Like, if you go to Vrindavan, let's say, Krishna Balaram Mandir and 7 Goswamis temple, and Barsana, Nandagaon, that's it. Stick to that. Just understand this first. Don't go to each and every place just in 1 week or 4 days like a crash course. It is not going to help you in any way. Like you said, not even one deity you will remember.
Yes, Mataji. Again, September 9th, again I'm going, Mataji, Vrindavan.
When you go to any holy dham, okay, yeah. So keep something like that. What happens now, sometimes I share my realization. I went to Puri Dham, so I went few times. So when you go to Puri Dham, you need to at least 4-5 days is good to have peacefully take darshan of each and every Lord there, each and every place there. So I want to go to Neelachal Dham, and then I don't have enough time. It's just like I have to go to Mayapur next day morning, and today I'm thinking about going to Neelachal Dham. It's not going to happen. And then I prayed there that, of course, Lord want me to come back here maybe, because that's why this is not happening now. But I prayed, okay, Lord, let me come next time. Please give me opportunity to take darshan of Neelachal Dham next time when I come. And I want to take the darshan. Like genuinely, I prayed and went to Mayapur. Now, last year I went to Rath Yatra. So this Rath Yatra also, it was like I booked my ticket, but I realized Rath Yatra is happening just 2 days after my return ticket. And then I want to change the ticket. It's very expensive to change from here. The agent told me per head you have to pay $200. I said, oh my God, it's as good as buying one more ticket to go next time. I just prayed to Lord Jagannath here, please. I want to take darshan this time. I want to go. There's 2 days left for my return trip. And I don't want to miss. I had a long-standing desire to. This time I want to go just 2 days there. Some miracle you do, I don't know, just change my ticket. I just prayed like that to Lord here. And then after that, I came home, and just in the first hour of that morning only, I got call from the agent saying that I could change ticket just for paying $40, that's it, 40 or 60, that's it. I said, oh, that is such a nice, thing. You're not really listen to my prayers. I just changed it straight away. And myself and my children changed it. And then I went to Holy Dham, Puri. First, I went to Bhubaneswar. I stayed there 1 day. All the local temple, I saw Konark, I went all that I did. I totally forgot about whatever I prayed before. I was just the Prabhu who is taking us through everywhere. I was asking him, can you please take me to Kirchar Gopinath? No problem, Mataji. Kirchar Gopinath temple again takes 1 whole day, 4 hours up, 4 hours down from Bhubaneswar. I think it's not ideal to go. You save your energy for Rath Yatra. You focus on that. Don't do this. So, okay. Then what he said, you must be sad or maybe, feeling not good. So what I would do is when you return trip to your whole hometown, what I would do is save that 1 day last day morning when you come back to Bhubaneswar, I will take to Neelachal Dham, he said. Till that time I forgot. I prayed to Lord that last trip to my Puri, that next time I want to take darshan of Neelachal Dham. And this time I totally forgot. I was thinking about Kirchur Gopinath. I want to go there. I totally, until this Prabhu told me, I was not into my senses that I prayed to go. I forgot. This Prabhu helped me to remember what and then Lord maybe through him made me to remember you wish to go here, you have to go. In my return trip, I went to Neelachal Dham. I was so happy. And then now I realize that Lord want me to come back because I want to go to Kirchur Gopinath. The next visit, I have a desire to go there. So holy dhams, I feel this is how one should meditate on going to holy dham, and that experiences will actually help you to relish the darshans or whatever you do there, association, everything will help you to actually deepen your thoughts with Krishna or anything. Otherwise, holism is just buying ticket, going and eat prasad and come back. It's also okay. You are fortunate only you can do that, but still, you want to get extra, realizations of the holy dham. You need to be, meditating on that. Learn what about holy dham is. Hear from others visit of holy dham, other Vaishnavas or senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada, how they take through yatras. Take the information from them. If you can't go, at least read the realizations of what they have done. So imbibe some scriptural knowledge before you visit holy dham. It's very important. That's how, it's you can take darshan.
Haribol. Thank you, Mataji. That was very, very wonderful to hear your experience.
It's like that, yeah. Even Govardhan also, Lord Harideva's also same kind of realization, but it's out of our time now, which is opposite time. That's a very nice realization I had for Harideva's darshan also. Lord Harideva in Govardhan, before starting parikrama of Govardhan, you take darshan of Lord Harideva, which I didn't know only until my son was born, younger one, and my Guru Maharaj gave him Harideva name. Then only I introspect what is this name behind. I learned it, and I don't know. I did visit. I did visit. Maybe I don't know. Then next time, with great attention, we could take darshan, and we had nice realization there. Meeting is nice sadhu and taking us through whole parikrama, who resides in the near Giriraj, he resides there, and we were just left with no one there at that time. First time we were going alone to do Govardhan Parikrama, and we were missing devotees and missing Brajavasi to take us through. And then he took Harideva temple first we visited, and that Prabhu dropped us, and he was going to pick, but he didn't have time to come with us. But we were missing his association. We didn't want to take parikrama without devotees association. And we were discussing in our mother tongue with our parent, our mother-in-law, everyone was there. We were talking in Harideva temple, how should we take darshan of Giriraj without a devotee association? Then this sadhu come forward listening to our conversation, and he extended his help, and he took us so nicely. I can never forget that parikrama. And in the end, what happened, we don't know. This sadhu, he just came, he took us through, he gave some nice prasad and all the thing he did. And later, I don't know how we departed, we don't know, like that, So it's a very beautiful if you just pray to Lord intensely with your full heart. He will listen, he's there in your heart. He will show the way. He will make an arrangement to take you through the holy dhams. So holy dhams is just not another city to go. It's very important to imbibe the mood. So then you will remember.
Mataji, what's your son? What's your son's name, you said, Mataji?
Harideva.
On that side to guide you here and there.
Can everyone mute Padma Mataji, Rajlakshmi Mataji? Yeah, Harideva is the name of her son, Mataji.
Yeah, Harideva.
Mataji, I had a question.
Yes,
Nothing relating to what you spoke just now, but it's a problem that I've been facing. So I thought I'll just seek your guidance. Mataji, I have heard from many senior devotees that once you start 16 rounds, Krishna gives you more intelligence and he will make you go on a little faster pace. In the sense like, everything that you'll be able to do fast. But for me, it is happening in the reverse, Mataji. I'm taking much more longer time to, cut vegetables or cook or do anything or study. So
Are
I
you
don't know where I'm
contemplating
going
on
wrong.
that, Mataji? That devotee said like that. Are you contemplating on that? That should I go? I should go first. Why am I not going first? Are you expecting that?
No, Mataji. It's completely with me because I couldn't get a forum to raise my question. So now that you are there, I thought I'll just seek your guidance. I don't know. I mean, whether it is my offensive chanting or how I'm doing, what I'm doing, I don't know. But I've become very slow in everything, Mataji. So can you please suggest what I have to be doing in this case?
So, Mataji, when we chant, what we are trying to do is engage us in the service of the Lord. So that is the only our mood when we chant, and hearing to the Maha Mantra attentively. So I would request you to focus on these two things first. Just hearing to the Maha Mantra and requesting the energy of the Lord, Srimati Radharani, engage in the service of the Lord. Just focus on this and try to do your attentive chanting for some time. Then you see the result. So intelligence will play part, because why the other devotees or senior devotees would have said is that your mind interference will reduce. That is how your intelligence will take a major, role ahead of mind. And you can use your intelligence when you do your things, like, prioritizing your day. You can do something unwanted in your day, you will skip aside. Let's say, you may scroll on your website, or, do the Facebook or these, that, WhatsApp, that you may stop doing it, or you may stop reading mundane subject matter, or you may stop interacting with people who are you're not getting benefit in your Krishna consciousness. That is how intelligence plays a role. Initially, we need to get to a stage to understand that. See, work done fast can happen, but it doesn't happen over a period, overnight. It will take a long way to get there. They would have experienced few years, or how many, how much time in their life they shared that with you. But it doesn't happen to us overnight. It may take, few years, or according to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, maybe this lifetime or maybe many lifetimes, Mataji. But don't get intimidated with this. Just focus on the Maha Mantra. Hear attentively Maha Mantra when you're chanting, and pray sincerely that you want to engage in the service of the Lord. Definitely miracles will happen. Definitely Lord will engage you in the service, and certainly He will make your things easier and better. This will happen, and it happens me as well. I can manage things, but that is not to be informed or shared or propagated to everybody. Keep it to yourself and try your best. Leave everything to Krishna. Yeah, have faith in the Maha Mantra. Yeah,
Okay,
you know the pastime of the touchstone. It's like that. Sanatana Goswami touchstone. You read the pastime, so this Maha Mantra has got a lot of potency, and that potency will reveal it to everyone in different ways and different time, place, circumstance. It doesn't happen overnight. We should continue to keep faith in this and carry forward the process. Yeah, follow 4 regulative principles, chant Maha Mantra, speak your prayers, do your sincere prayers to the Lord. Definitely it will happen, Mataji. Believe me, you will come back to the same forum and share your experience.
Sure, Mataji, because I've become very slow in my cooking also, or whatever task that I'm taking, I've become so slow, which I was not earlier. So I don't know, maybe some mistake I'm doing somewhere. So why is that it is taking so long is what I was trying to contemplate on.
Maybe try to hear Maha Mantra while doing your activities, Mataji.
Mataji, I think Krishna is giving us more time.
Yeah.
To think of him, so that do the work slowly, Focus more on me.
That's also a positive thing, Mataji. Yeah, you are cooking for Krishna, so if you take more time also, you are in the service only. It's also there, but yeah, I would suggest you to hear to Prabhupada's Vani. What is that way we have na jukebox we say na Prabhupada's Mahamantra. Hear that way with your activities, Mataji. So Prabhupada will empower you.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much for all of your time. Thank you.
Very, very, very nice answers, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Okay, so Hare Krishna to all of you. Pranam. We'll do.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. What is the pastime of this touchstone, Mataji?
Ramakrishna Prabhu is saying something. Yeah, Ramakrishna Prabhu.
Yeah, touchstone, Sanatana Goswami touchstone pastime is like in a Brahmana who is actually, it's a poor Brahmana, wife is seeking wealth from him, and he came to hear, I'm telling in short, he comes to hear from someone that there is a sadhu in Vrindavan where he has got a touchstone. If you can get it, you will become wealthy. So he gets the touchstone by somehow finding out Sanatana Goswami. But later, he invited friends, and then he comes to know that, okay, the friends says that, if that sadhu has given you touchstone, that means he will have more precious thing than this. He just gave you, and that touchstone was in actually rubbish bin in his kutir. So he said, if that is thrown into the bin and then he got it from the trash, he would have got more precious thing with you. You are a fool, you got this one. You should get more precious thing rather than this just the touchstone which is turning everything to gold. Then the wife again after him, okay, why don't you get it through? This is not good. Maybe get something which is more precious. He goes back and then he again seeks his help. I need more precious. You maybe want you to is that first thing, follow my instruction, throw the stone in the Yamuna and then take bath and come back. So I will give you that, whatever I have, the precious thing. And you should not regret. You accept it and then you will feel it. So he comes back and then he will give the Maha Mantra into his ears. He recite this Maha Mantra and he says that you chant this Maha Mantra, this will turn everything into gold. More precious than the stone. Then he realizes the power of the Maha Mantra later, after practicing it. So it is always, abhyasa is important. So many instructions are there, but abhyasa is what we are lacking. We need to practice that. Yeah. Yes, you can read that pastime, Prabhu. It is more, if you want to in detail, it's available. If you just Google it also, you will get.
In which book it is available, Mataji?
Which book I can.
Mataji, I just checked. Mataji, I just checked. It is there in ISKCON Desire Tree. If you just put Sanatana Goswami and touchstone, it's coming. The story is coming.
Meenakshi Mataji, share the link.
Yeah, share
okay,
the link.
Mataji. Okay,
in Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion also it will be there. But yeah, you can.
Nectar of Devotion.
ISKCON Desire Tree is the best platform to get everything.
Okay. Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you so much for all of your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we will all do one Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for Mataji, so that Mataji can come again and again and give us her association. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gaura Premanande ki jai. Hare Krishna. Shall I end the session, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Pranam.